Hey,
Hi, everybody.
we are on at 8:04 sharp.
We are 4 minutes late tonight.
For this 4-week marriage month.
4 weeks in marriage month. This is
What
the
else
third
is the number
week.
4 good for?
4 corners
4 corners
of
of
the
the
round
world.
earth. 4.
Just save your life on film.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're really helpful.
I am.
Well, for those of you who are weekly watchers, then you've absolutely saw what happened last week. There was a surprise ending at the
Extremely
end.
surprising ending. Never done before on Facebook Live ending.
At least in our family, has never been done before.
Never
You
been
think
done.
Never been
Ever
done
in
in
the
the whole
history of
history
the world.
whatever. Super surprise ending last week. It was sort of like, you know, The Sixth Sense when
Hey, Brett.
you watch the whole movie and then like there's a big surprise at the end. We did that for you last week.
Last
we had
week.
this
It was great.
huge last 15
I
seconds.
literally watched that 5 times after
Did you?
it was over and laughed each time.
I need to learn how to like just clip a snippet and be able to put that up because it was really funny.
Yes, it was.
I really enjoyed that.
We should be able to do that pretty easy, huh?
Yes.
Get my IT person on it.
I have to Google it. My IT person is Google. I just Google everything.
Just Google.
Is there a t-shirt that says that? My IT person is Google.
There will be now.
Brett's a smarty about computers. I'll probably just ask him, hi, Noelle. Hi, Mom. Hello, everybody. So we were just talking about how there's a super de-duper-de surprise ending from last week. So you're going to want to go back to last week's
Worth the
video
watch.
and skip to the very end, past all the blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
maybe a minute, the last minute.
Do the last minute.
And watch all the way to the very end. It's
The
pretty
last
funny.
3 or 4 minutes were pretty funny because we
Yeah.
were talking about how Kyle wants to live in a nudist colony. He
Yes,
denied it,
He
but
does deny it.
apparently we got all shook up and
Oh, sugar. Whoa.
super surprise ending.
I just sang Elvis live.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
So I hope all of you guys are having a very good week. We are having a good week. We are handling issues as they come up and not freaking out. So that's basically what our week has consisted of.
Nice.
Is having like hurdle.
She got a parking ticket today.
So today I decide to go
That's your first ever parking ticket?
downtown. Well, it doesn't count.
Is it or is it not your first parking ticket?
I believe it's not. Didn't we go somewhere one time and I thought that it was pointless, that you shouldn't pay parking because the ticket was less than the amount of paying to park?
No.
I don't know. But here's what happened today. I went downtown
I've been
to
at the beach before, I think.
meet
We're
a
gonna be
friend
all day, yeah.
for coffee.
But-
I'm going to tell a story, but I keep being interrupted.
You need to create some good boundaries between us.
So in downtown, I didn't need quarters to put in the meter. It was like this big parking lot, and they said, all you have to do is download this app and put in the information, and you can pay through the app. That's how we do it at this lot. So I thought, all right, I can do that. I'm sure I'll do this again. So I download the app. I'm sitting there in the middle of downtown, and I've got my phone out, and I'm tapping away. And I couldn't figure out how, this is really lame. This is me again,
All she could
being
think of was
ridiculous. So how, what it said, what zone are you in? And so I couldn't figure out what zone I was in. I couldn't figure out what parking lot number I was.
Twilight Zone.
Maybe. And so I, like on the paper itself, it said, like an example, zone 114. So I type in zone 114 because that's what was in the example on the paper. Apparently, that's not how it worked. So I went off with my friend and I came back and I had a big old parking ticket.
How
So
much was it?
$17.50.
Big old parking ticket, $17.50.
Whatever. And so I had already paid for the whole day. I figured, you know, it's just a couple bucks. I'll go ahead and pay for the whole day. So I get the parking
So we
ticket
can go park tonight and party.
and I realize that, you know, I should just handle this right now. So I was super proactive, and it said, okay, then call this number if you want to contest the ticket. So I called it, ring, 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 nobody answers. It says, or you can go to whatever, whatever on First Street. And I was like, all right, I'm downtown. I'm just going to be really brave. My friend had already gone home, so.
Normally, how she's proactive is she brings me the ticket and
Hey,
tells me to do
Skip,
something
can you
about
take
it.
care of this? It used to be my mom when I was little. So now I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take care of this because I don't want this to stack up and be a problem. And so I walked over there, and there's a sign on the door. It says, we'll be back in 20 minutes. Or, he said, we'll be back in 10 minutes. And so I waited. This other person's there waiting. He's 10, 15 minutes. I don't know how long it's going to be till he shows up, whatever. And so finally, the guy arrived, and I said, I was super nice, and I said, I'm really sorry. I must have done this app wrong or something. It's my first time, but I just got this ticket, and here's the app that shows that I did pay for it. You can see the countdown. I've still got 7.5 hours left on my parking thing. He goes, oh, no, it's fine. I'm sorry that you had an inconvenience. And so he voided the ticket and told me it was going to be no problem. And
Did he just write void on the ticket and give it back to you?
he wrote void and said he'll take care of it. Was that not the awesomest way to handle it?
If your license ends up getting suspended next month, then...
Well, I took a screenshot of my parking meter app, and I added, you know how you can add words to a picture? So I added, it's per Scott, it's voided.
Nerd alert.
At 3:15 p.m. So I've got my super documentation.
Oh my goodness.
So I walk back, and as I'm walking back, I see a little sign that says Zone 553. So apparently, I learned something new today. I learned how to figure out what zone I'm parking in downtown Fort Myers.
Awesome sauce.
So we'll tell one more quick story while everybody's logging in here. Skip also had to just deal with a hurdle this week and just kind of deal with it. He showed up at a job site on Monday?
No, Tuesday.
On yesterday, Skip said, okay, well, I'm going to go do this new construction. They need me to fix a couple of bathtubs. There's these little dings and chips inside these bathtubs.
Hammer holes.
On a construction site. So apparently...
I do bathtub and tile reglazing.
Do you guys know that construction guys are like total drama, like soap opera construction drama guys at new construction?
It's more like they're all...
Hi, Katie Eller. Welcome. Love you too, Noelle.
It's more like... they're all roosters. Like they all need to fluff their feathers
What
up.
they are is angry and...
Who's Katie Eller?
The ex-Katie Carroll.
The ex-Katie Carroll.
Now she's got a ring on it. So Skip shows up at this thing to fix, 5 bathtubs that he said that he would fix this guy.
My work is finishing work. Like you do it like when everything else is done.
So he had a deadline. This guy needed 5 bathtubs fixed in one day. So Skip says, sure, no problem. So he goes out to do it. And he shows up, and they said, I'm sorry, this is a brand new construction site, and you're not welcome on this site unless you get
a hard hat, safety glasses, fluorescent reflector vest.
Oh, I bet that was
long
cute.
pants because I was wearing shorts, and steel-toed boots because I was wearing sneakers.
So Skip is an hour and a half away from our house. And so then he's like, okay. And so instead of doing his work, so here's the thing. Again, Skip could have been upset. I could have been upset when I got a ticket today. Skip could have been upset when he got, told to get off of the job site. He can't do his work. So when I got the parking ticket, I handled it well. Yay me. And Skip was like, oh, okay, well, let me go take care of this. So Skip figured, okay, I just have to spend a little bit of money and I will get paid for the day. So Skip got some super handsome looking boots at Walmart.
Nice.
He had to get some steel-toed boots.
I needed steel-toed boots.
He needed steel-toed boots.
Totally
and
went with camo.
the cheapest ones were camo at Walmart. And so he got those and he got his little stuff going. And he showed up on the job site. And in fact, everybody was super duper happy.
My eye has an itch in it tonight. I'm going to scratch it all night, I think. Maybe not.
It's in your eyelashes.
Okay.
You've got something there. So, anyway, Skip handled his hurdle really well.
I'm not here right now. I walked to the bathroom.
His construction drama hurdle way better than he's handling his eyeball hurdle right now. Can you get over the final hurdle of the week?
Are you still talking to me? I'm not here. I left.
This is not a solo expedition.
Oh, I can use this camera to fix my eye.
So handsome. All right, I think that we're ready to play
We're ready.
I think we're ready to play the Newlywed Game.
The Newlywed Game.
With you guys. The Not-So-Newlywed Game
The
in most cases.
Not-So-Newlywed Game for us. We have several newlyweds on here.
Katie, Brett, and Rosalind, you guys are all actual newlyweds.
Newlyweds.
Go ahead on with your bad newlywed
self. Get your
self.
pen or your marker, whatever you're going to use out, and some paper.
Yes, grab your spouse, grab a marker and stuff, because we have some questions coming. We want you to play at home along with us. As you know, we've been keeping tally. Oh, it's all going to be backwards.
Right, wrong, backwards.
Skip wrote that. We are 5-1. We got 5 right the first week and 1 wrong.
So we're 6-6.
And then the next week we got average. 1 right and 1 wrong. You are so average.
You are my average wife.
So amazed at how average you are. So let's hope to increase our odds and be better than average.
Better than average.
Let's raise our averages.
We are 6-6 right now.
Okay, ladies. Let's go ahead and let's ask the women a question first.
Okay.
So ask me.
What am I asking you?
Okay, top question. You guys ready?
Number 1 top question. What do I eat on my hot dogs?
What does your man eat on his hot dogs? Write it down.
I know what she's going to write, but it's wrong, but I'm going to say what she's going to write.
That's interesting. I don't know what I'm going to write.
I know what she's going to write. I'll tell you what she's going to write.
Hold on. I'm not looking.
Ketchup and mustard.
All right, let's see here. I believe that you have... Are you going to...
You waiting?
Okay, you ready?
All right.
What do you eat on your hot dog?
Will you guys tell her now, since I've already whispered it?
Okay, let's hear.
I do ketchup and mustard.
Ding, 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 ding,
I
ding,
knew
ding,
that's what she was going to write.
That's the point of the game, to try to match up your answers.
Right, but that's not what I put on my hot dog.
What do you put on your hot dog?
I love Chicago dogs.
Well, I do too. In Chicago, preferably.
Well, I've eaten them here too. They're delicious.
Have you guys had Chicago hot dogs? I was not a fan of Chicago hot dogs,
Oh my
I
gosh.
thought, until we went to Chicago.
It's really about the only way I like hot dogs now.
And they put like this pickle spear on there and spicy mustard, right?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I do spicy mustard and a pickle spear.
If you're ever in Chicago, go downtown to...
Eat every hot dog. Eat every single deep dish pizza.
Oh, the deep dish pizza was amazing.
Now you're making me hungry.
You're going to ask me a question now?
Okay, ready, Skip? Okay, women, this question is to ask him, ask your husband, let's see.
Go ahead.
What is the best vacation you've ever taken together? So husbands, write the answer down. Don't show.
Best vacation?
Don't show. I know, it's a hard question. Especially because with your wife, every vacation is the best vacation.
Oh, man.
Come on, ding-a-ding. They're waiting.
All right.
Ooh, Brett likes sauerkraut, mustard, and pickle relish. Ooh, Katie's had a legit Chicago dog in Chicago. Downtown dogs. Yeah, I love Chicago hot dogs.
I wrote something there.
Chicago
I
pizza.
really want to write something else because I had...
Then do it.
I don't know.
Write what you think. Okay, so you're saying, what is your best vacation you've ever taken together? You ready? I think that all of them were great.
Me too.
But I'm pretty sure that we'll agree that the best vacation is Puerto Rico when we went with my grandparents.
I didn't even think of that one.
Right? What did you put?
I mean...
Show your answer. Show your answer. San Diego? Oh. Wait a minute. This says Redwood, crossed out, and alone, crossed out.
I was about to change it to Puerto Rico.
But what happened? You took a vacation alone, and that was the best vacation?
Me and you went alone. When we went by ourselves.
Oh, Redwood alone.
Yes, we went alone by ourselves. No kids, no family. We went on a 4 or 5 day.
with our 2 dogs.
With our 2 dogs.
Yes, we did go to a woodsy cabin, a family
good time
cabin.
on that trip with you.
That was really fun. I thought about that one too. I just thought you were going to be
sentimental. I
sentimental.
forgot about Puerto Rico, or else I might have written that.
Which one do you think?
I was also thinking San Diego, but I didn't want to write that because it wasn't a full-out vacation.
Like
it was kind of a working
said,
vacation.
Ding! Every vacation we take together
is the
best
San Diego,
vacation.
didn't
We just like to be together.
Yeah.
You guys, as you're going along, feel free to comment below with what your answers are. We love it. So go ahead and tell us where your best vacation is. I know some of you guys.
I saw still average, by the way, 7 and 7.
I saw Lisa Outlaws on here, and my mom's on here. I know they've done a couple trips to Europe and stuff. So I want to hear, where do you guys like to go? Okay, next question.
And feel free to share this with the people that you follow on Facebook if you find it fun and interesting. If not, then don't.
Then go cry with us later.
Go cry with my bad eye.
Okay, I'm going to ask you. No, you ask me a question.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
All right, complete this sentence.
Okay, I don't know the answer to this, by the way.
It must be true that opposites attract because my wife and I are total opposites when it comes to...
So you're asking me, because so must be true that opposites attract because my husband and I are opposites when it comes to...
Got it.
Oh, no. Okay, what are we complete opposites about?
There's only one thing.
Only one thing?
It was several things, but the main thing, it's so clear if you don't write it.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
I kind of wrote
doing a
2
lot of
answers. Okay, what would you say?
Noelle, you're opposites with your husband with food?
Really? Okay, what are we opposites on?
Temperature.
Oh, I didn't get that one at all, but that
What?
is true. I put height and body type.
Height and
Because as you know,
oh my goodness.
it's very possible that I'm a shorty and you're a tallie, and you're a skinny and I'm a roundy.
Yeah,
But we match perfectly.
we do match perfectly.
Okay, I'm going to ask
So
you a
that's
question.
a matching perfectly.
We match perfectly.
Temperature is definitely the answer to that
See,
one.
Katie Eller said the same thing. He likes it hot, she likes it cold.
Yep.
So we are the exact same. Like, without fail, no matter when you ask us, he's hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, he's cold. We just flip-flop until it's completely different. All right, next question. What was the menu for the first meal your wife ever cooked for you? What is the first thing? What was the menu, the first thing your wife ever cooked for you?
Do we count for spelling?
No, it's backwards for them anyway. They can't see your misspelling.
I can't even sound it out or you'll hear me.
I won't listen. So write it in the comments below.
I spelled it wrong. You were not going to count off for spelling.
What'd you guys eat the first time your wife
Got it.
Okay, I think you're going to put, it could have gone 2 ways here. I'm going to put burned grilled cheese.
I completely know how to spell burned and grilled and cheese. I gave you the biggest clue.
How about mashed potatoes?
I know how to spell mashed potatoes.
Well, those are all I knew how to cook. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Spelled weird.
Badly.
Spelled really bad. Spaghetti's a really weird word.
Very badly.
Do you guys know how to spell spaghetti?
Yes. Everybody in the universe
I don't speak
knows
Italian.
how
I
to
speak American.
Spaghetti.
Everybody in the universe knows how to spell spaghetti.
Yes.
You're gotta be
I'm
kidding
going to call up everyone
Spell
in the
it.
whole universe. Come on, I'm a spelling bee champion.
Spell it.
Holla for all you spelling bee champions out there. Okay. Yes, I did cook a lot of spaghetti for you right after we got married. Because that's all I knew how to do.
Man,
was
we got
boil
that wrong
noodles,
too.
dump sauce.
So what do we have? What's the tally here?
Lot wrong.
1 right and 3 wrong?
Yeah, let's say 3.
Wow.
I don't know.
We're bombing
Okay, so
today.
do I ask you a question
No,
now?
I just did it.
Okay.
So I'm going to say to you, what's your wife's best stupid human
No,
trick?
you're asking me. So
What's your
just
best?
say what? Just say what it
What's
says.
Beth's?
No,
What's your spouse's best stupid human trick?
you're asking me.
I'm asking you that.
Yeah.
What my stupid human trick is?
Yes.
I have a stupid human trick?
Yes, everybody has a stupid human trick. So, what is your What's your man's best stupid human trick? All right. I'm going to write it down.
I don't even know what my best stupid human trick
Well,
is.
I don't either, but let's just roll with something.
My best stupid human trick. Okay, I'll just go with that.
Okay, answer.
I can make a laser sound with my mouth.
Oh, that one is awesome. Unfortunately, we got it wrong because I put circus baby.
Circus baby.
Skip would hold our baby. He said,
Yeah.
okay, they have a little reflex in infants. In their
From
little
about 4
feet.
months on, yeah.
You can put infants' feet on your
Tiny,
hand.
tiny little babies.
And their legs will stand up straight, and you can hold your baby in your hand.
So, like you're holding them like this, and their feet are hanging down, and you tap their feet like this, and their body will stiff, and then you can pull this arm away, and you're balancing your baby, and they're like 4 months old, they're real tiny, so it looks really funny.
So that is a stupid human trick. Yeah. And it scares every mother and grandmother. And
I would do it in public
like
sometimes, or at restaurants.
800-mile radius.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give them your laser sound, since that's one you can perform.
I don't know if I can with a smile.
Go ahead, be a laser for them. Do it, do it. Okay.
Hope that came through the camera.
That was stupid, all right.
Makes my lips tickle.
Skip had to practice that a lot when he was 10, so
did.
that he could perform that for you right now.
And my brother would do this like belly dancing, belly roll.
That was not stupid, by the way. I'm teasing you. All right.
Last one.
Question.
So we got that wrong.
All right, we're going to ask the men, folk.
Did we get 2 right? We must have.
I don't know.
I'm not keeping track.
Love keeps no record of wrongs.
All right, what's the next one?
Okay, what do you have most of? A sense of humor, sense of time, sense of adventure, or common sense?
Huh.
What does your man have most of?
Allowed to tie? Most.
Sense of humor, sense of time, sense of adventure, or common sense?
Right. I'm just going with what I think you're going to say.
That went fast.
I didn't write sense of, or I just wrote one word.
That really, I could narrow it down based on how much you wrote just now.
No, you can't. Okay, let's see how great you are at this.
Okay, I think that you're going to say that you have the most of common sense. He thinks it's humor.
So apparently she doesn't think I'm funny. Yeah, she's laughing at me. Mission accomplished.
Sense of humor.
Sense of
okay,
humor.
you guys
Never was
can
wrong.
put in the comments below what your final score was
Man.
between you and your spouse. Perhaps you did better than 1 right and
We
5
are
wrong,
7 and
like
11.
we did. We are.
Our total record is 7 and 11. Does that mean we get the free Slurpees tomorrow?
Free Slurpees. We'll just show them that
7-11.
marker board. They'll have compassion on us and give us a Slurpee.
7-11. If you're watching our Facebook Live, can we have some free Slurpees tomorrow?
I'm actually not having sugar, 2nd week in a row.
I'll eat your Slurpee.
So I could have a sugarless Slurpee, which is just a cup of ice. That's all I get.
Oh my
Wah,
goodness.
wah, wah.
What can you put in? What are you allowed to drink that's not like juice is
I
sugary?
could put like frozen peas. I could
Frozen peas
freeze a
Slurpee.
pea. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we are 7 and 11 over 3 weeks.
Hold on. We have some posturing here in the comments. Some people pointing to the scoreboard.
Brett and Noel.
Brett and Rosalind missed none. Noel got them all right as well.
Wow.
You know what that means.
Challenge on for next week.
Newlyweds do better than the oldyweds,
Yeah.
apparently. So, okay. That was very fun. I really hope that we can show these whippersnappers how it's done next week.
We're coming prepared next week.
Game face. We're going to have like stripes, like football stripes. And
Gonna totally do like Bill Belichick. Gonna get the answers before we play the game.
Yeah, we're gonna do
sorry
game
for all
film.
you Patriots fans out there. Not sorry. Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Bandwagon ears.
All right. So this week we are not talking about newlywed stuff except for the game. We are talking about boundaries.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's true. I think that boundaries are something that's really worth talking about, and the fact that boundaries can seem like it's something that you don't want to do, like, oh, that's like a wall. I don't want to have any kind of separation. I want to just let whatever happen. But boundaries are actually a gateway to healthy living. The gateway to actually being able to have respect and healthy communication and protection of this marriage bond. And so that's what we wanted to talk about tonight, and to remind and encourage and kind of let you know, hey, your marriage is something that's really valuable, worth protecting. So as we go through Marriage Month, we want to make sure that we talk about the fact that there has to be boundaries. There has to be some healthy limits in all of that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I thought you were gearing up to say something.
Go ahead.
Okay. And so we want to say that primarily there's a boundary for your first and foremost priority in your life, which is that you have a God spot in your life, and this is where that only God can fill. So a lot of us get married, and then we put our spouse, or even before we're married, maybe you put your spouse in that God spot, and then all of a sudden you're looking to them as your savior. You're looking for them to have all the answers, and it's a place that no person can fill. And so it's pretty tough when then that crumbles because they can't live up to your expectations. They can't live up to your needs. And so if you put a person there as your God, that you're looking to them to save everything, which I certainly did when we were younger, married and stuff, like, okay, Skip, fix it. Like we were just joking at the beginning with the parking ticket. Like I was always like, okay, somebody else fix it, instead of realizing that I'm empowered to be able to, work with God, have wisdom, and make responsible and good decisions in my life. So I had to go through a process where I no longer had Skip as the God in my life. Skip wasn't, if we were low on money, you're not my God. And when we are low on money or something, I would go, okay, Skip, how are you going to fix this? Skip, like I was putting too much pressure on him to solve all of my problems. Or if I was feeling needy, I was, Skip, how are you going to fill this need for me? I'm needy. How are you going to fix it? And so that was not an appropriate way to be able to handle that. And so God actually took me through a process where he, definitely took the shine away from, the shiny object. And then I'm realizing, oh, okay, this is just a person, and he's fallible, and we are better together, and we're bonded, but he can't solve all of my problems. He's not the be-all, end-all, everything to me.
I tried.
Yeah, and which, makes a big mess as well. So
yes, it did.
That's first and foremost. Keep God, protect that boundary first. But then certainly after that, spouse. And so we just wanted to, state the obvious, but maybe not so obvious as we go in and out of life and stuff, that your spouse has first and foremost top priority out of all earthly people. There's no one like that. You don't make that kind of commitment with anybody else. You don't make that kind of commitment with your siblings or your friends or whatever. But when you stand there together and make vows to each other and make this commitment, it's a completely different situation. You don't even do that with your children. I mean, you grow your children in your womb and you give birth to them and you do everything for them around the clock, 24 hours a day. But it's not the same thing as this bond that you have with your spouse, So it's really important to keep that protected. And that's one of the reasons why you need boundaries. So you do need boundaries as a human being and have your personal life and how you relate with each other with healthiness. But also there's a boundary around your marriage and to keep that protected.
Yeah. And we do very purposeful stuff when it comes to that with not just our kids, but also our friends and even beyond. Like, we protect us first. So, we're aware of time being spent together in the evenings. We're aware of, okay, this is mommy and daddy's time. After a certain point, even though our oldest is now about to be a teenager and she stays up a little bit later, we say, no, it's room time. You stay in your room. You're going to stay awake. That's fine. But you stay over there, because over here it's me and mommy's time. We're going to spend some time at the end of the evenings together. And then when it comes to extended family or friends, like, we're very careful not to overextend when it comes to always visiting or hanging out and those kind of things. We draw nice lines, and we do spend lots of time with our kids. We do spend lots of time with our extended family and our friends. But we have very clear and defined boundaries.
Right. It's really cliche that, sometimes there's a man who doesn't have any boundaries, and so he just does whatever his mom still tells him to do, or, like, he's not listening to his wife or whatever. So that's a real cliche, but you definitely have to realize that your own union together is the main thing that you have to work for. That unity is super powerful, and so that's what has to be protected. So in the midst of all of that, you have to realize, in order to protect that, you have to realize that you are powerful in your life, that you get to make decisions, that you are not a victim to other people's choices, that you get a chance to go, okay, well, I know that I have this priority, and so I'm going to make sure that I protect that priority. So you can tell someone what you're going to do, but you can't tell them what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So when you're setting a boundary, then you're able to go, okay, well, I understand that that's what you want from me, but this is what I am going to do. I'm willing to. So someone calls you up and they say, okay, will you help me move? Well, you have to think, okay, well, am I willing to do that? So if it's a day if it's someone who's close to you and you want to help them move, or you feel like you should do it, but it's on a time when you already have a family thing happening, it gets sticky in life when you would give up your family time that you've already set aside to go then help somebody else. So you can't go solve everybody else's problems without protecting the fact that you have your own priorities to keep in check. So nobody needs your help, and you have your marriage and family life and finances crumbling. That's not how this works. So you have to be healthy in your own life, and then from your overflow, you're able to give out in mass quantities, but you don't have to give the main source of who you are to everybody that asks. So God will make it really clear to you if you're supposed to give something that's outside the norm. So we're talking about, in general, you do need to preserve your home life and your priorities. Like if someone says, hey, you want to go to the beach tomorrow, you would protect the fact that you have to go to work, because you know that you want to still have a job, and so it's pretty easy for you to go, oh no, sorry, I can't because I have to go to work. So that's a really easy boundary because it's not very emotionally invested.
A little more difficult would be, do you want to go out late tonight? Knowing that you can still go to work tomorrow, but you're going to be tired, right?
Right.
So, I can go out. So, Noelle, you're asking, what if you're not married? Well, it's very similar, only in relationships, now you're protecting more of yourself. In going back to what Beth was saying in the beginning with God time, you're going to protect who you are in God, and those kind of things. But also as you get into dating, I think it's very important to have really clear boundaries. It's going to make your relationship healthier as you begin to date, to lay boundaries down of what you're willing to do. You know, you're not going to tell them, no, you're not going to do this. You're going to say, this is what I'm willing to do. No, I'm not, you're not going to do this to me is not the right approach. The right approach would be, this is what I'm willing to do.
Yeah. So, you know, if Skip's going to be rude to me, then, you know, I can't say, well, you better stop talking to me like that. How dare you talk to me like that? You better stop it. That's not going to be very effective. But what I could say is, wow, I'm willing to talk to you when you want to be respectful in conversation with me. And then I could stop talking or walk away at that point, because I'm happy to listen to you if you want to talk to me respectfully. And
that's a real example.
Taken from true events.
Taken from true events at the Swigert household. And honestly,
it goes over like a lead balloon most of the time. But we've started to, after doing it multiple times, we've developed a habit where
much easier to begin to put boundaries in place in moments where you're not elevated in confrontation.
Yeah, we agreed upon that ahead of time.
So if you're watching this now and you get in an argument with your spouse or your friend or your mother, family member, or whoever it is tomorrow, and all of a sudden you're like, these are my boundaries. Yeah, that's true. Those are going to be your boundaries. But, you know, the boundaries are set up in place when you're not elevated at a place of confrontation. Then people understand where your lines are before you get to that confrontation. So.
Yeah. And Noelle, to go back to your question, we're in marriage month right now. So I'm specifically trying to relate every example that we're giving to a married couple and to people that are married, just so that there is some information out there for people in marriage who are specifically looking for this. But I'm sure that we will talk some point in the future about other situations and stuff as well. I'm sure that we will revisit this again some point in the future, because it's valuable and it happens in just about every area of your life that this comes up. So here's the thing. When you don't set a boundary in a relationship, most of the time you end up getting bitter behind the scenes, and you're getting bitter and more bitter and more bitter until one day you just blow up. And so that's not a boundary.
You get a bowl full of, I can't believe it's not bitter.
And then you dump it on the person's head, normally in a screaming match. I've definitely done that. The first couple times I set boundaries, I did it very badly, and I had to go and clean up a lot of messes, and I had to work to regain in those relationships and stuff, because it was just a big mess. So show yourself grace. When your kids are learning how to walk, they definitely teeter-totter and fall down.
We stand them back up.
As you learn how to set boundaries, you may do it badly, and you probably will, but you're not going to get any better until you practice it.
Right. So a good example of this is, if I have a habit coming into the marriage of, you know, taking my t-shirt off and draping it over a chair or over something.
Taken from true events.
Okay. And honestly, as a guy, there's levels of t-shirts. So like, you have that fresh, right out of laundry level, right? And then you have, hey, I wore that for like 2 hours while I was doing a Facebook Live. I mean, it can be worn again. You drape it over the chair. Then the next level is like, I could probably wear that again if I'm going to do some cleaning tomorrow, so I'll put it on the floor next to the chair. And then, oh my God, that shirt stinks so bad, it's going right to the laundry. But anyway, so the boundary was, she was wanting me not to drape clothes all over our bedroom and have all these different levels of stacks of clothes of my t-shirts. And the boundary was not spoken, so I was just doing it until finally she was upset enough to kind of go, you drape your clothes all over, or however that went. And then we had to have a big discussion, you know, about where her boundary was, how she wanted her room, and how it's important for her, you know, for our bedroom to be a place of beauty and a place of peace and order and those kind of things. And she laid that boundary out very nice. Do we still get a messy room sometimes? Yes, of course. But am I more aware of what she wants for our bedroom space? Absolutely. Because she told me, this is the boundary. I want my room to be peaceful and orderly and stress-free.
Yeah, I think most of the time in a marriage situation, you want to make each other happy, and so some communication up front will save a lot of hassle and recrimination on the back. So I would encourage you to let go of all bitterness and start to formulate some new habits. Just give yourself a clean slate as you go out and go, oh boy, I hadn't communicated this. I hadn't made any kind of healthy interaction. And so, yeah, this relationship got really messy, and I've been really bitter about that for a long time. So I can realize that now, that I didn't have good boundaries, that they didn't have good boundaries, and that this got really messy. And so I'm going to forgive that, and I'm going to do better. And so maybe sometimes you're going to try to repair the relationship and actually fix it. And sometimes life has moved on, and you can just forgive in your heart and forgive with God, and just release the person, bless them, and move on. So shake off, get rid of any kind of bitterness that you have going on in your life as you go forward.
Yeah.
So your powerful no will protect your even bigger yes. So, Skip, do you want to join a basketball league? No, I'm sorry, I would love to, but spending time and having dinners with my family is really important to me, so I can't do that. Beth, do you want to eat at restaurants every night? Well, I do, but no thank you, because
Not in the budget.
it's not in the budget.
Or on the diet.
And I would be 8,000 pounds.
8,000 pounds.
Because I would eat Outback Steakhouse every night, all night.
Gross.
1,500, 3,000 calories in one meal.
Yuck.
Yum, 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 yum. Okay, so as you set a boundary, as you tell someone a limit where you're willing to live in your life, you can do that with graciousness. You can be lovely in your communication with them. It doesn't have to be harsh and cruel, and it doesn't have to be angry, because when you're being angry, when you're being harsh, those are really just another powerless way of trying to control someone. So, you can use anger and things to try to manipulate people to get to do what you want them to do, instead of just being settled in your heart and looking at them and having the confidence and the wherewithal to say, wow, thank you for inviting me to that, but I can't do that because that's, I've made other priorities in my life right now. And so that doesn't mean that someone else has to be offended about it. And, if someone gets offended about a priority that you've set in your life, then you can't let that control you.
Right.
Because they're not responsible to God for running your life. You are.
And that says more about them. That's their issue that they're going to have to deal with.
Absolutely. That's a lack of boundary situation there, even if they want to try to control you.
As an example for boundaries,
Yes.
and the powerful yeses and nos, if Beth calls me while I'm at work, and I have quite a bit of downtime at work because I reglaze bathtubs, so when I spray a coat, it takes me about 10 minutes to spray the tub, then I got to wait about 15 minutes for before I can put the next coat on. So I get a lot of downtime, which is cool. But she'll call me sometimes, and it goes like this: hey, can you talk? And if I answer the phone, I can. Like if I'm in the middle of spraying, I don't even answer the phone. So I'll say, yeah, I can talk. And then if she's talking about fluff, just life, daily stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, she called me, I thought it was something important, but I don't communicate that or set that boundary, then all of a sudden I'm building up like, oh, I'm on the phone, I'm at work, blah, blah, blah. Or if I'm cool to chat, but I know that I want to get done at a certain time, and I'm going to have to go back into the bathroom to put another coat on in 5 minutes, then I lay that boundary. So instead of just saying, yes, I can talk, and letting her start this story that's going to take 10, 15, 20 minutes, or go into this long, drawn-out conversation, then I can set a really powerful, yes, I can talk, I have 5 minutes.
Right.
And then she knows what the boundary is, and instead of having fluff before what she's trying to get to in the conversation, the real meat of why she called, then, or it might just be fluff. Yeah, I just wanted to talk for 5 minutes, cool, let me know when you have to hang up. And so then all of a sudden that boundary is clear. I'm not upset that she's, disrupting my work day. She's not upset because I'm being short with her because I got to get off the phone and what do you need? Why are you calling me at work? Those kind of things. So that's just an example of like how you can set boundaries. Or, no, I can't talk right now. Is everything okay? Yes, everything's okay. Call me when you have a minute.
Yeah. Real, true emergencies are pretty rare. And so I think most people would give blanket grace on those kinds of things. So you don't have to worry about how things are received, because when things are a real, true emergency, then everybody drops everything for that. But most things in our life are not real, true emergencies, and they're just maybe stress emergencies or emotional emergencies, or I'd prefer to have it this way sort of emergencies, and those aren't real emergencies. And you don't have to drop everything to meet that need in somebody else's life. So especially the further removed they are from your inner circle of this. So this is our inner circle. The two of us
That's
are
what I'm talking about.
Our inner circle. And stop it. Then
it's marriage month.
Further removed from that are our kids, and then our extended family, friends, acquaintances, all that kind of stuff. So the further removed you are from this inner circle, then the less access you have in order to make demands on that person. So, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Okay, so go ahead and be your gracious, loving self. Look like your God as you live your life. And God certainly has boundaries, and God is love. That doesn't change, even in the midst of the fact that there are certainly boundaries. Jesus showed them again and again. The Bible talks about it, that God has set boundaries with us, And so it's fair enough to do. It's totally okay. And it will create a safe space for your heart to thrive, because you're not constantly feeling like you're hunted and guarded and you're a victim and everything else. So when you are living in the light, everything's out there, and you can say, you're not really hiding anything. Yes, I'm happy to help you. I have this much time available to help you. No, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I have this as my priority instead. I've got this going on. I can't help you. I'm sorry. But you can trust that, God will still help them. They'll still have help. So you are not the Holy Spirit. You don't have to do everything for everybody.
True story.
True story. So that's it for boundaries this week as far as marriage goes. There's probably a little bit more to delve into as far as boundaries with your spouse or whatever. We didn't delve into that too much, but if you have any questions,
I have a boundary that she doesn't fart under the covers.
Oh my gosh, you're so ridiculous.
Is that what we do? Get ridiculous at the end?
Scary, ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
So, anyway.
My boundary is that we don't say the F-A-R-T word on Facebook Live.
We can only say F-A-R-T. We can't say...
No.
My boundary is that she doesn't go under the covers.
Ridiculous. We have very small children who talk about bodily functions all day. So
yes, they do.
That's where we are. We're stuck in bodily function mode.
Their
Will you please
teacher.
tell the truth instead?
That is a boundary.
There was my boundary.
I don't embarrass her on
Would
Facebook Live.
Yes. I made that really clear. Well, you want to do Facebook Live? Okay, but here's the deal. We are not going to be unkind to each other.
Hey,
or
the question that I wrote down was sense of humor, not sense of common or sense of adventure or sense of time.
I thought you had common sense.
Thank you.
Not a sense of humor.
I do. I was going to tie common sense.
I should have known that you would have put that you had the best sense of humor in the world.
I thought that's what you were going to write. I thought that's what you were going to write.
I thought you have a pretty good sense of adventure as well.
I do. Those three, we both knew I didn't have a sense of time.
Well, no, you don't. You
I'm
have a
working
sense
on
of
it.
Spatial direction.
Yes.
But time and space are not
I
the
got
same
a good
thing.
sense of direction. Yeah, time and space are not the same. that we can make that a movie title.
Time and space are not the same.
Yeah. Anyway, find us on the social medias. Share this with your friends if you'd like to, and if it's been helpful or fun for you and you want to share it, we would love that.
Thanks for joining in. It's really fun when you guys join in and comment. We're glad you played the Newlywed Game with us
we had
tonight.
a good time tonight.
Yeah. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I think next week might be the last week for Marriage Month.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, April.
Yeah,
almost
the
done.
4th week. Yeah.
All right. So we got good stuff coming up. Love you guys. Have a good week.
Maybe we'll have a prize next week.
A prize?
I just dropped that on Beth. Yeah, I think we'll do a giveaway here next week.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I have lots of books. You want to give away some books?
Yeah, maybe we'll give away a book next week. We'll have to figure out what we're going to have to do. Beth will post ahead of time. Be looking at the Family, Faith, and Flip-Flops fan page. Beth is going to come up with something, and one lucky person is going to get a book. We'll call it a book. A nice book. What is it going to be?
I don't know.
Keep Your Love On?
You want a book of poetry? Oh, we could give Keep Your Love On. All of these things on Marriage Month have been based on Danny Silk's book, Keep Your Love On, Kylo. And it's an excellent book. So I'd be happy to send that to someone.
Beth will do a contest
winning
this week. Look for it. We're going to give, I just came up with that. We're going to give away a book. Keep Your Love On.
We have a boundary of keeping things exciting.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Sweet. So somebody's getting a book next week.
Sweet and spicy.
We'll tell you how.
Once we figure it out.
We are Skip and Beth Swiger on all the social medias, and feel free to message us anytime, private message, if you have any questions or comments or sarcastic remarks.
Jokes. We love jokes.
Yep, that's it. Love you
Okay,
guys.
love ya. Bye.